Hey, what's up, guys? This is your boy Travis back again here at Big Boy Tour Reviews. And today we are taking a look at the REVOLTECH Amazing Yamaguchi Supergirl. So let's take a look at the packaging real quick because you might have already noticed an issue with the figure before I took her out of frame. This is different from. It seems like Amazing Yamaguchi is always doing something different to their boxes because they don't always have Amazing Yamaguchi here. Like on the Ochiko review, it just said REVOLTECH here and then had some Amazing Yamaguchi or something here at the top. So it seems like they're always doing something different with their boxes. I don't know why they can't seem to stay consistent with the boxes, but these eyes are funny. I'll show you what I did to them when we get to the accessories. But yeah, here's the box. It's Amazing Yamaguchi box again. No tape at the bottom, so I was able to open it up from the bottom. But right off the bat, you can see the same thing that I had, the same issue I had with the Catwoman I have with Supergirl. Her leg is crooked. Her leg is crooked, and I believe this leg is longer than this leg. I have played around with this figure for a while now, and there has been a lot of adjusting that I have had to do with that wide joints to kind of even get this leg to look similar. You can see like this leg is straighter than, like, it's not straighter in the term of straighter, it's just the way that it's sitting on that wide joint. It's straighter while this one is coming out more. Because if I was to, it's straighter, it's mainly straighter because it's bent, but I also had to adjust it to try to at least kind of get these two to look right. If you look at the boots here, they're not symmetrical. You see what I'm saying? Like here, let me get in closer. You see how this one sits lower than this one? Now you can somewhat adjust it, but you shouldn't have to adjust it. You know, you have to do some adjusting with that wide joint, but then you make this leg shorter. You see that? You see how that foot is sitting up higher than this foot? Even pulling it down some, it's still longer. And so there's definitely some issue with mine with the leg being longer and the leg being bent. So that is unfortunate. And again, I got this from Hobby Ginke, and this, I will say it again, and I said it in the Ochiko review, depending on which one I post first. This figure came out in like June. I should have been reviewed this, but because I pre-ordered the Ochiko and her at the same time on the same order, they held her until fucking November. That's just an outrageous policy. So I might order from them again. I will. I'll choose a different shipping option because I chose FedEx thinking FedEx is a normal thing that everybody chooses. But for some reason, it took almost a month to get my stuff. It took like 3 weeks. So it's just out of control. They're ridiculous. And then I asked them like, oh, well, you chose your shipping when you made the order, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, I chose the shipping. I chose FedEx. They're on some bullshit. Hobby Ginke is on some straight up bullshit. Anyway, what I'm going to do is I am going to attempt to heat this up and get it to go straight, and then I will come back. Alrighty, so I got her leg as straight as possible. It definitely looks way better than it did before, so I do like that. So I fixed that issue. Other than that, there's plenty of other issues with this figure. Obviously, it has the normal Amazing Yamaguchi issues with the terrible shoulder joints that look horrible in a static pose. But look, you can obviously pose your way. You can hide them in posing. I don't know what the hell I'm saying. I can't talk today. There was some other adjusting that I had to do to her. Her elbow joints were super wonky and I couldn't get them to be straight. So I had to do some adjusting there. Other than that, oh, this falls off constantly. Constantly falls off if you just, I mean, it's not on there at all. I've thought about doing the super glue method, but yeah, that's a pain in the ass for sure. Other than that, she looks good. I mean, aesthetic wise, if you can ignore you can kind of hide them with her cape too. I did also have to super glue this plastic part in, and I've thought about heating this up and bending it down because there is a piece under here, another plastic piece under here that's kind of connecting the cape to this part. I'm not quite sure why they made it out of such a, look, her bangs just fell out again. I'm not sure why they made it such a hard plastic. I feel like they should have made this a much softer plastic. Maybe that has to do with how they got the cape glued in here or something. I'm not quite sure. Maybe it has something to do with the plastic. See, this piece is coming up. I thought I super glued it well enough, but it's coming up again. So I'm gonna have to figure that out. Somewhat, this hair is somewhat, it makes her head somewhat difficult to pose. This pose here, it's questionable whether or not they did some funky editing or angling to make it look like her hair can be straight down like that and still kind of get that kind of pose. Because anytime I get her hair, try to get her hair that straight, where this is actually under here, and like there's definitely some funky angling going on there, because you can't really get her hair to be that perfect. And not see the joints. Like, you can barely see the joints in that picture. So there's definitely some angling there that makes it look like she has like perfect straight hair. Not straight, but like you can get that to be perfect. You really can't. That's probably that's the best I can do right here. So it's not, I hate it when they try to do these poses and act like it's gonna always look that natural. I mean, people are already buying these things. I mean, obviously they're trying to sell them, so they're gonna do wonky things and angles and stuff to try to make it look good. I get it. Oh my God, this is the biggest issue. That hair not staying in. Maybe it's just my copy. I haven't seen any reviews of this figure. Surprisingly, I haven't seen any reviews of this figure. This is glaringly obvious that this is down further than this, and this leg is longer than the other leg. Like, you can tell, you can see that. And I have gotten this as straight as I possibly can. So that is an issue with mine. I would have to completely adjust her hips to get that to be straight. It's possible, but it's annoying that I would have to do that. So that's unfortunate, and it seems to adjust right back after posing. So yeah, it's just super annoying. I think this is the second time I've gotten the figure from Amazing Yamaguchi where the leg is longer than the other. No, that wasn't Amazing Yamaguchi. That was Bring Arts. That was Aerith. Her legs were longer than the other. I don't think I had that issue with Catwoman. I don't think I did. And I think it really has something to do with this one being bent. That maybe in the manufacturing process, because this one bent, it was so bent out to the side that it looked shorter. So I guess during the manufacturing, it made the leg longer to compensate for it being bent. So, but that's my copy. I'm hoping that it didn't happen to everybody. But anyway, we haven't even gotten to the rest of the figure here. The face looks really good. I do like that she does have the movable eye gimmick. I will say, and I know I'm not an accessory, so I won't have to show this afterwards. I've moved her eyes on two faces, and I'm already getting stress marks on this piece. So it's probably going to break if I use it any more than I already have. which is also really annoying. That sucks. That piece is most likely definitely going to break. If I haven't moved the eyes in this head yet, so probably adjusting that will eventually break that little eye gimmick piece. So I probably won't have that for long. I usually don't do the eye adjustments, but I always try to loosen the eyes at least, just in case I decide to do it. I can, and they won't be stuck, but yeah, they might have to come up with a better way to actually do that. Anyway, but the face looks good in her very stern, kind of neutral face. The S on the chest looks really, really good as well. I love the way that's paint throughout the outfit here. I do wish they would have used a softer plastic for this skirt piece. I'm not quite sure why they use such a stiff plastic and then have it in kind of a static blowing pose. Not quite sure why they did that. This definitely could have been a softer piece. I mean, you're Meiji Yamaguchi, your whole shtick is being able to pose the figure a lot, and having a stiff dress like this is going to be an issue. And then they segmented it. Why? You can't move it, so why is it segmented? I guess there is some shifting to it, but these seem to be on, maybe these are on some kind of ball pegs or something. I can't really see. It looks like this one is. Can you spin it? No. Look, why is this piece so soft? The piece in the back is super soft. They move a little bit. I know I'm not in articulation, but I'm just now noticing that they do adjust a little bit. I don't know. We'll see in the posing, and not in the posing, in the articulation. Nicely painted boots here. This one looks shinier than this knee. Looks shinier than that knee for some reason. But at least she's not on like some really steep high heels or anything. But for the most part, she looks good. I don't know if Supergirl is supposed to have an S on her cape. I'll have to look at some pictures. There might be some versions of her that she does have an S on her cape. I like the S on the cape personally, but some people don't like that. But other than that, oh, well, look at that. Fell out again. Oh, yeah, and then the hair. The hair is fine. It's segmented. It is what it is. I mean, it's for posing purposes, so I get it. I don't like the hue. I don't like the segmented parts of it. I don't know. I wish this was all maybe just one piece, but you know, it is what it is. It's amazing, Yamaguchi. But other than that, yeah, that's really it. She's pretty basic here. Nothing to write home about, really. I mean, it looks like an anime version of Supergirl. So anyway, let's go ahead and get to the accessories. Alrighty, so for accessories, we got her hand rack here. So she has the spread open hands. No nails in this one. No nails sculpted in the hands. Some more open hands. Maybe they're her flying hands, and then we have some kind of clenching type hands. I'm not quite sure. This is an odd set of hands. I mean, it's Supergirl, so I mean, there's not a whole lot that she would need to do other than having fist hands and maybe some wide open. So I guess they kind of just randomly came up with some hands. But that is some weird flying hands, if those are supposed to be flying hands. Why are her thumbs sticking out like that? So anyway, that's the hand rack. Then she comes with two faces. The standard version comes with two faces. She gets the smiling face. Why are her eyebrows green? Is it just me? No, they're green on the box too. Why are her eyebrows green? That's super weird. I just noticed that. Her eyebrows are green, but yeah, it does have the eye gimmick. You can move the eyes. And then we have the red, about to shoot your ass with the laser beam eyes. And I did move these around because they do have pupils in them. They do have white pupils in them. And I don't understand, maybe that's a comic book thing, but I can, if I don't break this, I can show you the pupils. So yeah, there's the pupil. So I don't know why that's in there. I would prefer just to have it all red. So I'm gonna roll that eye up and just have it all red. But yeah, that's that. And so Then she also gets like a wrist peg, and then she gets the typical Yamaguchi stand. I did get the extra piece, which is the laser beam eyes. Actually, let's go ahead and open this because I am probably going to use this. This is probably one of the few heads that I have ever seen that might be worth buying, because they didn't come standard with her shooting her laser beams out of her eyes, and I think that is a damn shame. I might use this head or use this face, but yeah, she has the laser beam eye, so that's the extra that you get with her. So that's cool. That is cool. And then obviously you get your stand here, so you get your stand and the clamp and everything else. So that's it for accessories. So then let's go ahead and get into articulation. These hair pieces are on a ball peg and joint and hinge, so those can move all around. That's fine. This will probably fall out a lot during this, so it is what it is. Looking up is going to be a problem. Well, it's going to be a problem because it looks horrible. She can look up, I guess, a decent amount, but geez Louise, are you going to have a gap there? But I guess if she's flying, you're not really supposed to see that anyway if you angle it right. But yeah, there is a huge gap there if you want, and you cannot adjust to hide that if you're going to put her in a looking up pose. But she can look down that much. She does get side to side. It is on like kind of a Mafex style bent double ball peg, so that's fine. Obviously on the REVOLTECH joint, they can go all around. She can get horizontal, way higher than horizontal, maybe because mine is broken right there. The swivel is going to be at the shoulder. You can swivel, I think, yeah, you can swivel here at the elbow too. Then you get a little over 90 degrees there on the elbow. I wish you could get more. Maybe they should have made that a double ball peg or double hinge. I mean, you get the hinge joint here, twist, and a hinge there, ball hinge for the wrist. As far as there is a bendy wire in the cape also, so you can pose that however you like. As far as going backwards, if we just use that diaphragm joint, she can go back a decent amount with that diaphragm joint. So the looking up, you can probably get it adjusted enough to where she can look up enough and adjust that enough to have her look like she's flying. So that's pretty good. Forward, you're gonna get that much, and then side to side is negligible. It's there, but it's not the greatest in the world. Then the bottom, obviously, you're gonna get way back. We're just gonna leave that off, and then way forward. And then obviously the bottom, you can get some more side to side if necessary. And there's also a twist there. And then there's a slight twist here. But that's really it. It seems like this is kind of a floaty piece, but there's really no adjusting that you can do there. As far as the splits, she can get the splits pretty good. I think that's enough for Supergirl. There is a slight thigh swivel in that wide joint, but you're gonna get it here in the boots, but it is super tough on mine. Oh, and I just popped it out. Okay, maybe was that not supposed to be a thing? Were you not supposed to be able to swivel there? I don't know. Maybe you weren't supposed to be able to swivel there, because now it's really loose. Were you not? Because this one swivels. I can get that to swivel and not pop out. So it's not like falling out or anything, and then you are going to get some paint transfer on her skin, so that also sucks. But now you can see what they're using now you can see what they're using there. But there is now I got a nice little swivel, but it does come out. It doesn't just fall out. Like I don't think if you shake it, it'll fall out or anything. So I don't mind that. Double jointed knee. I wish they would have made that elbow double jointed. And then we got the ball hinge for the ankle. So she can get decent range out of that, and the nice little okay, nice little ankle rocker there. So I hope I didn't just break it on on camera, but hey, it's easier to adjust. I'm not mad at that. This one is super tight. Whatever, it's not falling off, so I don't really have an issue with that. It's not as bad as like her bangs, so I don't really particularly have an issue with that. But yeah, that is it for articulation. I think I covered everything. Let's go ahead and do some comparisons. Real quick before we go to comparisons, this figure has kind of been a nightmare. You saw me break her leg on camera, and it was broken. It was actually broken. So it being broken, I was able to notice that, so this leg is on a ball joint, and it can go back and forth like, unnaturally, but that ball joint is super duper tight, super tight. And that's where the swivel was supposed to be, in that joint, but it's so tight that it basically broke the leg off the peg. Luckily, it didn't break the peg itself, so I was lucky in that. So I was able to super glue it back, but I went on ahead and used some shock oil in that joint, and I was able to pop this one out and put some shock oil in that. So both of the joints are loose now, but man, do you get some crazy paint transfer on this. I mean, look at that. That is some crazy paint transfer. So yeah, you're going to get paint transfer all over the place on this figure, moving that thigh around or moving that boot around. So that's unfortunate, but this thing has been a goddamn nightmare. So from having to glue this in to the leg breaking to this always popping out. I mean, it looks good, man, but this is probably one of the worst figures that I've had this year. I mean, I have just had all kinds of problems with this thing. And as much as it costs, you shouldn't be having those kinds of issues. I'm sorry. So, yeah, anyway, let's do comparisons. Alrighty, and here she is next to the SH Figuarts One Piece Nami and the Buzz Mod Demon Slayer Mitsuri, the Love Hashira. So she's pretty tall, as she should be. It is Supergirl. So that's what she looks like with them. And here she is next to the SH Figuarts Rainbow Mika. And then we have the SH Figuarts Yamamoto from One Piece and she's from Street Fighter, obviously. So here's some taller figures. Here she is next to some extra tall figures. Actually, Rainbow Mika is pretty tall, and obviously Yamamoto is part Oni, so she's gonna be a big girl. So that is what she looks like with them. And finally, here she is next to the Buzz Mod 2B, I believe, right? And the amazing Yamaguchi Catwoman. So yeah, her and Catwoman are relatively the same size. I don't know if that's right or not, but they are relatively the same height. My Catwoman's a little dusty. I need to dust her off. But anyway, that's it for comparisons. Sorry about that. I forgot to make the Superman comparison. So here she is next to the Mezco Superman. And as you can see, she is about the same height or taller than, not Mezco, the Mafex Superman. So I think she's too tall to fit in the Mafex line. And then she's even taller than Captain Marvel from Marvel Legends. So she's pretty tall. Definitely don't think I'm pretty sure she's definitely not taller than Superman, but Obviously, Mafex is a smaller line, and I think this Superman is a little undersized in general. But anyway, now that's it for comparison. Alrighty, so final thoughts on this figure. I have had a horrible experience with this figure. Legs breaking, hair constantly popping out. Now, I will say this: when I change the face, the hair fits in here just fine. So it must just be this face, the neutral face, that's having an issue. So the hair is not falling off now. I haven't tried the other faces, but I would assume that they're the same. But this is the extra face, and this is the one I'm going to keep her posed in with. But yeah, the neutral face shouldn't have that problem. It shouldn't be popping out like that. So that's an issue. The leg breaking is an issue. The wild and excessive paint transfer is a problem on her legs. Even her skirt is transferring paint very easy. I don't really know if there's a way to avoid that. Maybe if they sculpted the legs, sculpted this a little bit further away from her skin, then that wouldn't be an issue. Maybe you can adjust the joint a little bit, but now I got the paint there now, so it doesn't really matter. They didn't put plastic in between this part of her leg, which they should have. I don't know why they didn't, because that paint transfer is really bad. They should have put plastic in between her boots and her skin. So that is a big problem. What else? I can't knock it for the joints. That's just REVOLTECH. Yeah, if I was to give this figure a rating, it would probably be 4 out of 10. I mean, it looks great, but mine broke. Like, I'm sorry, yours might not have broke, but mine broke. And with the swivel that tight, I wouldn't be surprised if other people's broke. Honestly, I wouldn't be surprised at all. So yeah, that's a problem, guys. Sorry, but people who like this, I like this figure. Subjectively, I like this figure. I contacted Hobby Genkai to see if they could send me a replacement. Even though I fixed this one, it's still broken. So it's still broke, I should say. So I want a new one, point blank. But yeah, I can't recommend this figure in the state that it came in for me. Maybe other people had a better time with this figure. Me, it was fucking horrible. I hated messing around with it. Even the stand doesn't really peg into her back that great. So, but I do like this pose. What you think about the pose? I think the pose is pretty good. But anyway, that's it for the video. Please comment, like, and subscribe. And until next time, peace.